Hello, I thought I should probably start thinking about Christmas at some point, so I decided today I'll make a start on my Christmas cards. I've got a load of these craft paper envelopes and cards, so I'll use those as a card base. And then I've just ripped up some scrap hot press watercolour paper, which I'd done samples on the back of. So I'm just going to try out a few sample cards to start with and see what they look like. And if I like these first few, I'll rip up some more watercolour paper to make more cards. My original plan was to get some masking fluid and paint a shape in the middle of the paper and then use watercolour paints or inks or whatever I fancied over the top. But I couldn't find the jar of masking fluid, which I thought I had. I think it might have dried up at some point. And all I've got is this masking marker, which is a little bit fine. Well, I cover the tip in blue tack, but the tip's quite fine. So I've come up with a different plan. I've got out all my Christmas die cut shapes, and I remembered that I've got this kind of turquoise sticky paper, which is very low tack. So I was thinking I could die cut the shapes from this, stick them onto my paper, add the paints and inks, and then when they're dry I'll be able to peel this back up. So I haven't tried this before, either on watercolour paper or with watercolours. All I've used it for in the past is masking off areas that I was stamping over with rubber stamps. So I thought I might as well video the process and we can see if it works or not. So I'll just pull out a few random shapes that will fit on the paper. I like the idea of these snowflakes. These are Sizzix Tim Holtz's ones. Oh, I don't know if they're going to be too complex. I'll give one a go, see how we get on. I'm rubbing the adhesive down pretty firmly. Although I don't know with this stuff if the paint's going to creep under it or not. Alright, let's look at the more complex shapes. See if they cut okay. That one was alright. The little cutout bits are a little bit fiddly. Right, I think that's all of them. The other thing I don't know is how well they'll peel off the watercolour paper. I think because it's quite a small surface area, I'm just going to stick with 1 or 2 paints on each. And I'm going to use some granulating watercolours. These are in my Nomadic, what's the name of it? Nomadic Artist palette. So this first paint is Moon Glow from Daniel Smith. These might just be too simplistic, but we'll give it a go. Do Cascade Green by Daniel Smith on the greenery. This is Schmincke's Tundra Pink on the bauble. I want to give them plenty of water so they can move around and do their thing. This one is Zoe Sight from Daniel Smith. That might be a bit messy. Do Soda Light Genuine for the star. And this is Green Appetite Genuine from Daniel Smith on the last one. And then the other thing that I saw while I was looking for the masking fluid is this aqua bronze powder from Schmincke. And I thought I might sprinkle a little bit on. Trying to think the best way to do it. I haven't used it like this before. I've just mixed it into a paste. Oh dear, that's a big blob. I've got a feeling everything's going to be gold in my house for the rest of today. And I've made a right mess on the table. Right, I'll let those dry and see what we've got in a little bit. I used a heat tool to speed up the drying a bit, and hopefully that won't have affected the plastic too much. And I think I was quite heavy-handed with the powder. It's kind of dispersed quite well. Right, so... Oh, that worked all right. The paint's not seeped underneath there. I'm not sure I like that tree design though. Yeah. Nope, can't do it from the bottom. There we go. Wow, that's working really well. I'm actually really pleasantly surprised with how well that plastic stuck and that not much has seeped under it. That's quite pretty. So that was a pretty good initial experiment. The thing I'm not liking is the edges that I've got on the paper. I'm sure if I looked up online I could find a way to make watercolour paper have nice edges when you rip it. Maybe wet it first or something. And then I need to figure out how I want to write the greeting on. So I think I'll eliminate these two designs. I'm not so keen on those. But these four I actually really like. And in my twine tub, I've got some gold. I like the idea of sticking a little gold ribbon on the baubles. Could even look nice on the bow. And the other thing that occurred to me was to try the same again on the Khadi paper. Just because it's got these beautiful rough edges. But I'm not convinced at all that the plastic will stick to this because it's a lot more textured. I'll do an experiment with one and see how I get on. So that's it dry now on the Khadi paper. It looks quite promising. Oh yeah, hasn't seeped under at all. Oh, I quite like that. I've got an old Stephanie Bernard colour box ink from when I used to be on her design team. And I've got a Tim Holtz rubber stamp. Not sure about that. So I think I'm happy enough with this stamp at the bottom of the tall papers. And I'm just going to stick it on, just like glue stick. But I think that will probably hold this paper quite well. And then I've got some Beacon's 3-in-1 advanced craft glue for the bow. So that's that one. And then for the shorter cards that I've done, I had a route through my box of Christmas stamps and I found this one, which I haven't even used yet. I'll peel the backing paper off. And this is actually a stamp of my handwriting, which I did for a stamp set by Purple Onion Designs when I was on their design team. It's funny seeing my handwriting in a stamp. So I'll just assemble that one. So yeah, I definitely prefer this format, but at least I can do those so I don't waste the others that I made. Yeah, so I'm going to crack on and make some more of these now. And here's my next batch ready to paint. And here they all are in their painted and drying out state. So here they are all finished. I decided that I liked the look of them better on white cardstock, so went for that. I put adhesive pearls in the middle of the snowflake ones and added bows to most of the rest. So I hope that was interesting for some of you. Thanks ever so much for watching. Bye!